in the last 6 months or so, I've spun that messaging around to make it more around, I'm the subject matter expert. I'm the doctor prescribing to you. I'm going to let you know that you're not an island out by yourself, that everybody else is having these kind of same problems. And once you break some of that stuff down, the conversation is much more fruitful because they are much more open to sharing their problems. That's kind of the problem that we get to. And then you can start to say, and then you can guide them into metrics, because then you just start trap setting all the way from there, all the way metrics. Like here's how you should basically measure your success. Well, guess what? I can guide that to them. Before I explain GitLab and all this other stuff and what we do and all that stuff, I explain to what we solve for. And I make it very easy for them to not feel like they don't know what they're doing, because I say, in my customers and the people that I talk to, here are the problems that they have, and they have problems with product and platform drift. They have, artificial silos. They have entropy. They have lack of inner sourcing, no visibility, what not to. And 9 times, 10 times out of 10, they're like, yeah, that's us. And then I back into, here's how we solve for that, or here's how they have solved for that by using GitLab. And when then you kind of instantiate that, you can then determine, based upon measure by cycle time, the efficiencies that you're getting out of your developers. Because the customers that I work with get anywhere from a 5 to 20% developer efficiency. So take that, extrapolate that out to your fully loaded cost, it becomes quite exponential. That is how I kind of lead into that whole metrics thing. I was talking with Chris Hill a couple weeks ago at T-Mobile, and I was explaining to him how I talk to other prospects. And and Chris is pretty well known in the DevOps world, and he said, his statement back to me was, leading with the problems that you solve for is absolutely key, because he said in most of these enterprises, they don't even know what their problem is. They're in it's like these 4 quadrants, and they're in the upper left, which is just chaos. They have no idea. Kind of like what COVID did to everybody. Nobody knows what next quarter looks like because we're just in chaos, right? So you have to help these customers, these prospects, understand what their problem is, lead them to it. Because kind of going back to my point of, if I go say, hey, what's your metrics, or how are you measuring success? A lot of them won't even know, right? Or they'll kind of ham-haw around it, or they'll kind of give you some BS. You have to kind of guide them to that. We're doctors, right? We're subject matter experts. So what does that mean? Like, you are coming to me because I know something a little bit more than you might know, right? So it can be a collaborative discussion, but if I don't know anything more than you do, you'll go Google it. Well, I mean, that's the whole thing. So we need to basically give them, and as to not to upset them or ruffle feathers or make them feel like they don't know their business, I explain to them, hey, my other customer, whatever, had this problem. You might have that, right? And I say, I only cover very, very large customers. And I say, they were having silos all over the place. Their IT team was stagnant. Their product teams were going fast. They had no inner sourcing. And I swear to you, David, every single time they're like, yep, that's us. 100% that's us. And then what that does is you get on the same side of the table as them. And then you can start asking, well, what does that mean? That's you. Where's that bottleneck at? Is it this? Is it, throwing a few kind of softballs, right? Is it, oh yeah, Jenkins is horrible. Why is that? Oh, we're going to containers. Okay, whatever. Do you know how good you guys are doing right now at this? Nope, it's a total mess. Okay, great. And then flip it to, here's why that customer or our customers look at GitLab. Because we can solve for things like context switching. We can solve for things like this platform product drift. We can solve for things of lack of inner source. Oh, you're not having to switch from 5 different tools. You have the visibility. And what's happening now is, as people are moving more into, got to do more with less, we got to do more of a DevOps platform, they're now being able to measure cycle time. And I can increase your cycle time, your efficiency for your developer by basically, anywhere from 30 to 20%. And then you lead them through that kind of journey, right there on the phone. Let's take an IQM. SDR lines up a call. I used to start the call with, have you used GitLab? Do you know about GitLab? Whatnot. I don't even do that anymore. I assume and expect they know nothing about GitLab, because if they do know something about GitLab, it's probably from something like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, a year, which is not GitLab today. I will quickly start off with problems and make an assumption and expectation they have problems. Or they're not talking to me. I mean, why would you take a call with somebody if you didn't already have some interest of what something was going on, right? And quickly, and I literally, I go right to here's what we solve for. I start with that. And I open it that way, and I want them to see that I do understand their industry, that I understand the problems that the industry has, and that the other customers that I work with are solving it by using GitLab in this way, and make it very easy for them to walk into that conversation, so they don't feel like, oh crap, I'm the only one in, on the West Coast who basically is doing it bad or whatnot. No, everybody's doing it wrong. Everybody's doing it bad. You're just like them, and here's how they are solving it. So it's almost the whole like Machiavellian kind of thing, right? Is everybody's already doing it? Why aren't you? Pull it in, right? And that tends to work a lot better because it gives you it's earned you the right to ask those other questions, because you know a little bit about their business, you know a little bit about the problems that we're solving for, and you can start asking those things. Like I would never open a call and say, hey, is Jenkins your problem? Or how bad is Jenkins? Or what's wrong with you? Nothing. But if I can give them problems we solve for, how we have solved that, then I can kind of then be a little more prescriptive and say, hey, so tell me about Jenkins. And then they'll be like, oh, well, it's kind of like this. Are you guys containerizing? Are you guys doing microservices? Yep. I'm going to bet that that's a problem because these other customers had that problem too. And they're like, oh yeah, totally. And then you start to pick that out. So if it's been working pretty well,